Okay, so hi guys. Today we are solving this Leetcode 2587 ways to express an integer as a sum of powers. So let's quickly see the question. So we are given two integers n and x, and we have to return the number of ways n can be expressed as sum of x the power of unique positive integers. So keep this in mind. We have to find unique positive integers. In other words, you have to express the number as a sum of unique integers n1 into nk such that n satisfies this. Okay, and we have to return the modulo. So if n is 160, then x and x is 3, then there is only one way to express n, which is n equals 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 3, and 5 to the power of 5. You can see the examples. So I think it's a very basic question, so I will quickly tell you the solution. So the first approach which comes to our mind is we have to express a number as sum of other numbers, right? You just for once remove the power of x from your mind. So let's say if you're given a set, if you would have been given a number n equals to some number, let's say 10, and you would have been given a set of 1 4 9. Just think they are not powers of some number, just they are random numbers. Then what would you do? You would just do a recursive solution, which is either I will take this or not take this. If I take this, then I'll go to the next index and search for n, which is n minus 1, which is search for 9. Can I get 9 from remaining numbers? So yes, you can get a 9 if you take this 9. This way you can get 1 comma 9, which is one way to get n from this set. So uh, from this we get an intuition that if we have the set already, then we can do our dynamic programming solution to get the number of ways to get a possible sum. So it's simple. You can just, if you are already given x is given, you know x, then you can simply find this set na. Like you can go to every number and just find the power of that number to x, which is 1 to the power of x, 2 to the power of x, 3 to the power of x, and so on till a number, let's say p to the power of x, such that p to the power of x is less than equals to n. Basically you don't want p to the power of x to greater than n, because you will never take this, right? All of these numbers are positive. So you will go to a number p such that p to the power of x is less than equals to n. Okay, so I'll tell you the solution. So this is the basic power function which we use. So it is better if you remember this, but you can also understand this as it is very basic. Like you have e to the power of x if you want to compute uh, to its mod, then this is the basic solution. If x is divisible by 2, you do x divide equals 2 and e goes to e into e. And if x is not divisible by 2, you goes to x minus minus and answer is multiplied to e. This loop goes on, and at the end you get the power e to the power of x. Okay, now this is our main function, number of ways. In this I am creating is this vector nums. So this vector is basically these numbers 1 4 9. So if x equals to, let's say, 3, then nums will be equal to 1 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 3, and so on. Okay, so I am making this nums vector. I am taking I such that power of I to the power of I to the power of x, like I to the power of x is less than equals to n. So in this case, this p is basically the I which I am talking about, and I am pushing all the values inside the vector nums, and then I am creating this db vector and calling this recursive function f. So this function is finding number of ways to get to the total n from the numbers in nums. So I told you that you have to keep this in mind, that we have to take unique integers. So in the recursive call, I will always go to the next index. Either I will take the current index and reduce the total required sum, or I will not take the current index and go to the next index. And this function will get us to the number of ways, and this solution works, and I think it's pretty fine. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section, and thank you.